Hello there, sexy PlayStation gamers, and welcome back to another pure PlayStation video review. This time it's Daymare 1998 on PS4. If we had a gaming time capsule for the 90s, the breakout of survival horror games like Resident Evil would be at the forefront, standing proudly like a grandfather of sorts. The Resident Evil series has a beloved and nostalgic force behind it, but maybe it's time for a new generation to take the reins and have a crack at the genre. One studio who thinks they can wrestle those reins from Capcom's hands is Invader Studios, the developer behind Daymare 1998, and the studio was actually formed by fans with the desire to create an unofficial remake of Resident Evil 2. Unfortunately for them, Capcom already had plans, and so the fan-created project was turned around and moulded into what we have today, Daymare 1998. It's very much a tribute to Resident Evil 2, and it's created by fans, so surely this is a winning formula, right? Daymare 1998 takes us to a very familiar setting. A deadly biological substance has infected everyone in the surrounding town, called Keen Sight. Exploring the hyper-violent and gory environments, you'll have to manage an inventory, solve puzzles, and take out a whole population of zombies. Standard stuff then. The first thing I really noticed when playing the game was that the tank controls have, thankfully, been left in the past, and the game instead adopts a more traditional third-person over-the-shoulder perspective. No matter what your zombie killing skill level is, there's a setting for each player. You can either play on easy, normal, or Daymare, which is the hard mode. And also, the name of the game. Throughout the game's story, told over a series of chapters, you'll spend a lot of time killing the undead, either by whacking them with the back of your gun, or by using the gun for the reason God intended, to shoot bullets at the heads of enemies, and all other son bitches. Throughout the game, you'll gain more guns, though these are few and far between, and with the game having a more centered focus on a few main weapons. Zombies are, by their very nature, dangerous little beasts. While your bullets are handy at a distance, they're useless if a zombie manages to grab a hold of you. You'll be sprayed with horrible green acid that damages you until you can shake off the undead foe. Sometimes, I felt like this happened way more than it should have. But there is a reason for that, and that reason is running in this game is a pain in the arse. You have to press 3 buttons to run, not 1, not 2, but 3 bloody buttons. And this makes quick retreats to run for cover very difficult. It often left me exposed like a sitting duck, waiting to be chomped on. Having said that, I suppose it does encourage more situational awareness, and if you're aware of what's going on, you'll be able to shoot the zombies before they can come in for a nasty cuddle. Also, this makes you sound like a bit of a psycho, but popping zombies in the head and watching their heads fly off is bloody brilliant. Puzzles, just like the zombies themselves, pop up out of nowhere. You'll think they're all done, and then another one comes to block your progress. Some puzzles were simple enough and fun to solve, but others were a little bit less engaging with their cryptic clues, and this led to a lot of head scratching as I tried to figure out what the puzzle wanted from me. Often, after solving a puzzle, you'll have to retrace your steps and find the new path that the puzzle has unlocked. That sounds simple, but when the game's environments all look very similar and quite generic, it makes it difficult to tell where you've already been and then where you need to go. Proper old school style then. That's not to say that the entire game looks the same, but each chapter does have a distinct theme, like there's the lab, the streets, a hospital, and so on. And not all puzzles were brain teasers, some were just challenges that you had to overcome, like an early chapter that relies on using the gas mask to survive in a race against the clock. The gas mask is just one gadget in your arsenal. On your arm you have another gadget that wouldn't look out of place in a decent spy movie, well, from the 90s. This bit of kit is what you use to manage inventory, such as ammo that you'll scrounge from the game's world, health, maps and collectibles. Thankfully, the inventory system helps with sorting and combining items, saving you precious time and space, because both are in short supply. Management is key to success, especially when inventory management takes place in real time. You can't just pause and have a look through your bag of goodies when there are zombies wandering around, meaning that while you're sorting all of your goodies, a zombie can and will jump out at any time, and I'll admit, these jump scares got me a few times. Throughout the game, you'll take on 3 different characters: Leave, Raven and Sam. Regrettably, Sam is the only character that really stood out. Leave and Raven are part of the biotech organisation called Hexacore, otherwise known as Hades, which is basically the Daymare version of Stars, so they should have been in a prime position to become real meaty characters. But this didn't happen. Instead, Sam is left to take the brunt. Sam suffers from a condition known as Daymare syndrome, which gives him hallucinations and gory aberrations that even change the colour of the screen and the zombies themselves. Sam's personal plight pulled me in, and before I knew it, I was invested in his story, with his personal dilemmas and surrounding psychological issues giving him more depth than the supporting cast. During my travels in Zombieland, I did encounter a few minor bugs. Some were really minor, like a zombie getting clipped into a door, which, it was quite funny. Another one had my game crash entirely near the end of the first chapter without saving any of my progress. Not so funny, a proper pain in the arse. The cutscenes were also a little bit lacklustre and mundane at times, and they would take away from the dramatics and the narrative. But on the other hand, the monsters themselves, the thing we're all coming to shoot, are very well designed and feel at home on modern consoles. Fans of geeky pop culture will be pleased to know that hidden throughout the game there are some cheeky references to pop culture, and without spoiling any of the fun, I'll just say that they're fun to see. They don't make the game any better, mind you, but I appreciate the nods, and the effort doesn't go unnoticed. The big question then, is Daymare 1998 a day to remember or a nightmare you will want to forget? The answer to that is a bit of both. I did enjoy my experience with the game, and hardcore fans of the genre might find something special with Daymare 1998. Casual players, though, they might not be so forgiving to the shortfalls, and they might be better off sticking off with the new iterations of the Resident Evil remakes. Daymare 1998 is not the greatest horror game in the world. No, this is just a tribute. You gotta believe it. I wish you were there. And that brings us to the end of this review, with a cheeky little bit of if you got it, comment, let us know. If you didn't, then you don't know one of the greatest bands in the world. That isn't The Killers. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more anyway. If you don't, then sorry, but maybe in the next life, brother.